Alright guys, TadCrab here, 7th video in 7 days, you'll love to see it. Today we're going to talk about the CMG Prodown, the first one of 2019, and OpTic Gaming finally lose a tournament. They won every single 2K, every single Prodown, they won CWB at Las Vegas of course, and yeah, finally they are gotten the better of here by a couple of different teams. We'll talk about how that went down this weekend. Of course, it's only online, so definitely some different qualms and things you can talk about with the other teams being in team houses and things like that. Definitely not necessarily representative of what's going to happen on LAN, but you know, who knows? It's kind of cool to see how other teams are getting on in advance of this Pro League qualifier. Of course, for teams like OpTic, teams like EUnited, Splice and Luminosity as well, this tournament really doesn't mean a whole lot apart from for practice because they're already qualified for the Pro League, so that starts at the start of February, so there's not too much incentive for these guys to be super strict on their practice regimes and stuff right now, but you know, it always helps. Every little helps, right? So anyway, we're going to go through that today. Like, if you enjoy, subscribe. If you're new, as always, all that good stuff, and we'll start with the 2Ks as is tradition. So yeah, in Asia Pacific, we have this recent mind freak change with Buzzo going to a coaching role. Excite off the team for this Beaston guy, which supposedly they didn't really want to have on their team. And from what I've been hearing, there's a lot of like arguments and internal things within this squad. You know, Buzzo really needs to be that like level-headed guy, but he's now the coach, so maybe he can't communicate so much with them within the game itself. But they do get the better of this 2K, and yeah, beat out Tater Mines. It's really interesting to see which one of these teams, they're both at the Pro League qualifier, which one of them will qualify, if any at all, because in the Stage 2 of World War II Pro League, both of these teams were there. I mean, both of the organisations were there, the teams were rather different, but yeah, so we'll have to see what happens at that Pro League qualifier, whether either team will make it in, considering Mind Freak seem to be in a bit of a shambles right now, with Beaston coming into the lineup. Europe is a very interesting one. Online Call of Duty in Europe, like, you really can't read into it too much. The only team that's consistently doing really well is Team Sweden. They come top 6 of Vegas. I think they've won the last 2Ks now, and they're consistently dominating the online portion of European Call of Duty, which really shows something when a team like Heretics, who was winning the 2Ks a couple of weeks ago, they're all the way down here at top 64, and you really cannot predict what's going on in European Call of Duty Online, apart from apparently Team Sweden being really good. So the Imperial, Fact Revolution, Overtime Esport, Vodafone, actually maybe not Overtime, but yeah, a lot of these teams are at that Pro League qualifier, and we'll have to see how it turns out for them. Definitely Movistar, Vodafone, Giants, Fact Revolution, Imperial, and Team Sweden, all are there. Let's see how Lightning Panda's gone on, if they even played it. Okay, maybe Lightning Pandas didn't play this one, which I find kind of intriguing, but yeah, so maybe they're prepping really hard or something like that. It seems weird not to play the 2K, but regardless, let's go on to North America. This was streamed on the official CWBL broadcast. It's a bit of a shame that the pros have no incentive to play this because they don't need the pro points, and it's much better practice playing the Prodown, because I'm sure there's people tuning into the CWBL stream wondering where, you know, some big name players were. Really, the only big name players here were, I guess, on Phase Back and Mazer a little bit. I guess Midnight Esports as well. Yeah, Midnight Accelerate there at the Pro League qualifier. Phase, Clan Black as well are probably pretty hotly expected to do rather well. They win this 2K again. So yeah, they're definitely showing some good performances. Let's go on to this Prodown here. So EUnited take it home. G2 come in second place. Third place, kind of interesting because I did this video a couple of days ago on like young talent in Call of Duty. And this was the Prodown where these season guys did ridiculously well. Ili, Shotzi, Onyx, why did I pronounce it like that? Onyx, Paul, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that last bit. Paul, Onyx, Sim, Shotzi, Ili. They come third in this tournament. Red Reserve are right up there as well. And look at the bottom, baby. 100 Thieves, Luminosity. And Reciprocity, who came second in the last 2K to OpTic Gaming, the first team to take a series off them. They actually come top 16 here. So, okay, it's online. Let's have a look through it. So, winners bracket round 1. OpTic played G2. Supposedly before this series, they hadn't even hopped on to like warm up or anything. Karma was talking about the whole day how he just wanted to go to sleep. TJ was watching some like Eagles game or whatever. And OpTic really weren't taking things incredibly seriously this weekend, which, okay, maybe that's fine. It's a long time away since long time to the Pro League. But, you know, I think TP was maybe getting a little bit annoyed at them because, you know, guys like EUnited, they're taking it super serious. As far as it seemed, they end up winning the tournament. And, yeah, maybe he'd have expected OpTic to go a little bit harder in this one, but then again, you don't want to necessarily burn yourself out with practice. It's a few weeks still to the Pro League, and it's definitely not OpTic's tournament to go hard and try and win. A team like G2 definitely needs to get their practice in really quick to make sure they qualify for the Pro League, because that's by far the biggest thing on the agenda right now for those teams, whereas OpTic, of course, already guaranteed that slot in the Pro League. So they end up losing 4-1 to G2 in their first series. I was like, wow, that's a pretty crazy result, but G2 actually were just frying this entire tournament. They ended up making all the way to the grand finals, where they did lose to EUnited, but we'll go through that in a second. So FaZe took down LG 4-0 and then got 4-0'd by G2. So people talk about how blastful and the guys in that team. Of course, we had the roster change with G2, so the squad is now Blaz, Chino, Decimate, and we had this Lacefield and Methods addition, which seems to be working out pretty damn well for them so far. Blastful has always been considered kind of an onliner, but then again, they do very well in this tournament. I said that this team would be better than the old roster with Facento and Ricky, and, it seems that way so far. I didn't think they'd be a ridiculous team, but they should be easily good enough to qualify for the Pro League. So, yeah, that's what we'd expect. We also got a roster change with the Pittsburgh Knights. Here they are playing with Nero, or however that's pronounced, but Saints is coming into this team, as I said a couple of days ago, with Ricky. So I actually want to talk about this team as a whole in a couple of days' time, see what their expectations should be, and all those things. So anyway, let's go down a little bit further. This big team, these are Big Pelicans. This is Teddy Rex's team. So Splice get the better of them. Red Reserve beat 100 Thieves. I didn't even think this series was particularly close. So Red looked pretty damn strong this event. They ended up coming 4th. I think they came 4th or something in the very first Prodown they played before Vegas, and things didn't go to plan there. But definitely looking a lot better now. And, watching their play, they seemed very in tune with each other. Rated was going off in that Annihilator clip he had. So yeah, this was that Annihilator clip. I thought I'd find it real quick. Hopefully the frames and this is good enough. My laptop can keep up with it. But yeah, Rated a nice little 6-piece with the Annihilator. Some actually really nice shots in this one. I know a couple of you guys were saying that you'd like it if I included a little bit more gameplay in this type of videos. That shot was gorgeous. And also the 6th shot is ridiculous as well. And yeah, so I thought I'd include a couple of clips here or there in this video. And yeah, even got streaks off this while they were playing 100 Thieves. Just, yeah, it was really good stuff watching them play. A fan of the team, of course, being from the UK. And yeah, let's get back to the Prodown. So they beat 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves shambolic timer thing seems to continue. There was rumours that even Slasher was going to say, like, Kenny, you don't want to use the Sorg, I'll bloody run it. But apparently Kenny now is using the Sorg. Who knows, man? This team have been looking, not the best online. And we'll have to see at the Prodown, man, because this team could, or the Pro League qualifier, sorry, this team could implode, you don't really know what you're going to get from them. And if 100 Thieves don't make the league, like, goddamn, what is going on? So, Season get the better of Ready for Hire. Ready for Hire is Spacely's team, so if you're not aware of these guys, Spacely, Havoc, Major Maniac, Morks, and Nagafen came top 8 at Vegas. They get beaten out by Season, Illy, Shotzi, Onyx, Paul, and Simp. And yeah, if you had to rank these players by ability, probably Simp, Illy, then Shotzi. Shotzi is just actually a superb talent. I want to show you a clip from him in just a second here, when we get onto the series against G2, which was pretty spectacular. So EG get the better of Envy. Envy continue to disappoint, but it's only online. EG with their recent roster change as well, bringing in that Facento guy. Well, that Facento guy, yeah. The Facento change. And, yeah, Enigma 6 take down EUnited. This was actually a surprising result because, Enigma 6, General Diabolic, Kismet, Gade, and Frosty, they actually come top 6 of this tournament. They're at that Pro League qualifier. And Frosty seems to be improving all the time. And it's quite interesting to see what will happen to these guys. And yeah, definitely a lot of talent on this lineup. Been looking really good online from what I've seen. So EUnited get taken down there, and Pittsburgh Knights, the new squad, or without Saints I believe though, still get the better of Reciprocity 4-2. So let's have a look at the losers bracket. EUnited take down Rec. I think this was a Game 5 round 11. I didn't get to watch the series, but that's what people had said, I think. And at EUnited, they do a FaZe clan from Stage 1 playoffs last year. They lose first round in winners. They win every single losers bracket match. Look at all these Game 5s they win. 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. Then they 3-0 Enigma 6, and then they really turn up the heat towards the latter half of the tournament. So Envy take down Spacely's team. It's online. It's quite interesting, really. Spacely's team, you'd expect them to be pretty damn good, but, they get first rounded. Look at these teams that get first rounded here. Luminosity as well, or a double first rounded, I guess I should say. This was a funny series. Teddy Rex's team, 3-1 100 Thieves. And I think the last map, they got beat like 250 to like 40 or something like that in the hard point on Hacienda. Like, goddamn 100T, man. I made a video a little bit ago on whether they should make a roster change or not, so you can check that out in the description if you'd like. OpTic had a good time of things and losers initially. They beat LG 3-0. They beat Pittsburgh Knights. They take down EG as well, who, had taken down Teddy Rex's squad. A lot of game 5s here as well. Splice get the better of Envy, who were beaten by Red Reserve here. So we'll go through these matches now. Red vs Splice was a pretty fun one to watch. That first map, Splice were up by quite a bit, and Red nearly made a crazy comeback, but they still lost it. And then they went on to win the series regardless. G2 dealt with FaZe like Celium. They've been looking better with Celium, I think, but this new G2 squad, 4-0ing FaZe is not an easy feat at all. EG get taken down by Season, and these guys, man, are just cracked out beyond belief. Yeah, Enigma 6 get the better of Pittsburgh Knights. So anyway, this is the bracket. Red versus G2 is a super close series, went down all the way to a game 7, and Season get the better of Enigma 6 to move on to a winners finals. So these are the result in losers here. Red end up taking down OpTic Gaming in a 3-0 to eliminate them from their first tournament of Black Ops 4. As I said before, they've won everything else, and yeah, it didn't seem like they were taking things overly seriously. They don't necessarily have to. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to see. Maybe there's a little bit of complacency creeping in when, you feel like you're just going to come online and beat everyone. That's maybe what we've seen with past OpTic lineups. And I wouldn't be surprised if it creeps into these guys' mentality, given that they've won every single tournament in advance. And sometimes losing can definitely be an advantage, because it's like, okay, all right, we need to get our heads down, start scrimming again properly, and make sure we do our best to win every future tournament, because I guess that is the goal at the end of the day. So Red Reserve deal with them before losing to EUnited. This apparently was a pretty damn close... Actually, this Red OG series had some controversy, I think, because, of course, Red had that 5-man host in the house, and supposedly Red offered to play on some sort of neutral host. Very difficult to find an actual neutral host when OpTic are spread all over the place, really, and then Red are all in one place. So kind of difficult to find a neutral host that would be applicable. But instead of that, I believe OpTic just played on Red's host for a couple of the maps. And, anyway, there was some controversy there. Not really the end of the world. Then EUnited played Red Reserve, and this was a really close series. I think all 3 maps were close, but EUnited got the better of them. Then G2 versus Season. This was a crazy series. G2 win that game 7, but this was a clip from Shotzi. So this is the guy on the Splice Halo team that won the World Championship. He's only 17, and he clutches this really nasty 1v3 to keep them in the game, down 2-5 in the round, in the game 7, and he clutches this nasty 1v3 to keep them in the game. And they end up losing it anyway, but yeah, it was a sick clip, I thought. And so, yeah, they end up losing that. They go down to losers bracket, get beaten by EUnited. And some of these guys on that team are just crazy talented. Of course, they're considered onliners, but, there's no leader on this team. There's no mentor on this team. Imagine you gave some of these guys someone to help them develop and grow, like a Clayster, who now has a Beezy on his team, Celium with replays, maybe even a Parasite figure, or, Swanee comes back. I don't know what's going on. But regardless, that was a pretty interesting result. One of the stories of the event, really, I thought, how well this team did. They did end up losing. The grand finals was between G2 and EUnited, and EUnited just went on an absolutely storming run here. Super impressed with them. 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 3-0, 3-0, 4-1, 4-2, 4-0 to close out the tournament. So, doesn't get much better than that, really, in terms of losers bracket runs. Of course, it's online. Said that a few times, but that 4 over G2 in the second series was pretty impressive, and it's the second time back-to-back in Prodowns where the team from losers has won, given that OpTic did it to Reciprocity in 2 weeks ago, I believe. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your thoughts on this down in the comment section below. Will OpTic get back to winning ways in the next Pro Down? Not exactly sure when it's going to be, considering there's the Pro League qualifier starting on the 16th. So maybe there won't be one that weekend, because a lot of the teams will be at the major event. So anyway, we'll have to see how things go. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always, and I'll see you next time.
That pussy shit. I'm gonna go all the way around, right? He's here, dead. Nice. So we're both here. Slide in. I'm gonna go up top.
Give it all you got. I'm online.
Okay, fair enough. Reloading for a sec. One's probably gone outskirts, like to a window or something.
He's on the head glitch.
Flashbang around the head glitch.
Looking a window. A little bit weak. Oh, they're both there. You gotta go. Left side. Probably gonna come window. Yeah, window. Oh, absolutely shit on.
Nice.
Oh, baby.